Okay, there we go. I think that's it. Let me see. Hold on. Let's go ahead and we'll just start over, because it is what it is. So Slap Chats number 4, and then this one here, the main topic is going to be Explain Strange Podcast. So Explain Strange Podcast, I call it ESP, and that's what we'll be referring to it today. So if you don't mind. So ESP, the reason I had to do this was I decided it was time to go ahead and start season 2, and the reason I did that was because I was getting contacted by potential guests. We had a few guests that were still not scheduled, but pretty much lined up, and I think 1 or 2 were scheduled, and then we had to drop and stay anyway. Whatever happened in season 1, so they weren't able to come out in season 1. Time ran out, so things were going between the co-hosts and people that were working on this and helping me and whatnot. So I had to go ahead and pull season 1. Which it was a great season 1. I mean, I loved it. I liked it. I mean, I go back even now and I look at some of the shows and I try to figure out, where did we do good, where did we do bad, which one we need to work on. But I mean, everybody does that. Okay, everybody. So anyway, I've done that. So season 2, I wasn't going to begin season 2 yet because I wasn't sure that I was ready. I wasn't even ready too much in season 1, and that's why you saw Under the Moon Paranormal come in, and then you saw Taylor come in, and they conducting the podcast to try to help me out. I started a few of them in the beginning, but then I had them come in and pick it up on me because I was having most of y'all already know what that deal was. So season 2, I wasn't really gonna start season 2 because, as you know, some of you know, I moved into my new house, and I haven't had had a chance to really set up a studio yet. But with that being said, I've come up with a way to create a studio. So I can do a studio that's going to go ahead and work with this. So we're going to do that. They can do my podcast. And I can still go out and do my other, running around for Slap Recon. So, yeah, we're going to begin shooting podcast between the middle and the end of March. Do I have guests? I wrote questions down here that people have been messaging me and asking me, so that they by messenger, whatever you call it. Anyway, yeah. Do I have any guests? Yeah, I do have guests. I have a few that were left over from the first one, from season 1, that they just weren't able to get them in or schedule them in for whatever reason, and they're going to roll over and they're going to be in season 2. And then for those who inquired about, for those who wanted to be a guest or was asking me, I'm sorry. For those that are asking in the message, if y'all were able to be a guest, and there's several people have been asking, and I've already lined up a couple of those new ones. Yeah, you calling all storytellers. If you got a good story to tell, and I don't mean like Little Red Riding Hood or nothing like that. We're talking about. We want to get into the real storytelling. Just a paranormal happening that you were involved in, or you were present when it happened, or it happened to you, or whatever. It could be a ghost. It could be a UFO sighting. It doesn't matter. Anything that you have that you think that would be, something that we can explain that you find, or somebody else might find strange, go ahead and let us know. And I'll work on booking you in on the show, because we're going to be booking. This is going to go from end of March and through June, and this season 2 will probably end in June, depending on how it's going. So not hopefully. I don't hope anything ends. I'm just saying that I'm thinking about it, thinking that it may end in June. So we'll take it for that, and stay tuned, because I got a list of guests. Well, I'm not going to read you the whole list, because I'm not going to give you the main ones, but I got information on you. You're going to like what we're getting ready to do. So for those who inquired, yes, No problem. If you think you want to be a guest on our podcast, let us know. If you have a paranormal team or whatever you have, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and let us know, and we'll go ahead and try to schedule you in. But again, keep in mind the time frame. We begin shooting in March, end of March, and they'll be hitting, April, May, and then June will be our last month. That'll be for season 2. Okay. What I ended up doing was I'll be the host, and Tony Taylor's going to be the more or less co-host off and on. Now, this is kind of like Tony Taylor won't be seen all the time. So, as in the end of season 1, you saw mostly Taylor, Nicole. So, she kind of picked up most of the podcast, and because her availability at that time was just a lot more than she had more availability than I did at the time. Well, now that it's time for me to step back in. Okay, it's kind of like one of them things. If I tell myself, being a veteran and whatnot, if you started it, you have to finish it. Or you can't rely on other people all the time, and you really can't. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick up the reins again, and then start driving. Let's say, and I'm going to give you a few of the guests that are going to be coming. Let's see what time it is. No, I got to wait. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to ask for anybody else who wants to be a guest. Go ahead and just let us know. Tell us, whatever you think. Now I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into it. So potential guests. Yes, I have potential guests that we have to just work out the dates with them. I'll just go ahead and give you who these are. These are. Well, one of them is from the first season. Okay, so I'll just take it from there. And that was Nathaniel Elwell. He's with the Newport Paranormal Society and founder of the Southeastern Ghost Research. So Nathaniel Elwell. He'll be. We've already gotten in contact with him. I spoke with him already, or contacted him already. He's willing. He wants to come back, so he'll be a guest. So we'll be having him on. He'll probably be one of the closer to the beginning guests. I don't know exactly who's going to open because we still have to sit down in front of a calendar, me and these potential guests, I guess you want to call them, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put dates. When I do get dates, I plan on coming out with another live. And I'm going to give y'all who's going to be coming out when. That way you'll have an idea and you'll kind of know for the beginning. Then we have Jeannie. I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep saying Janine. Jeannie Van Hoos. She was one of the para hunters. And, I want to find out whether or not she's still with them and what she's doing and whatnot. And she's also involved, or lives out there by the Jefferson Hotel, or has some kind of affiliation with that. So I already got with her, and she has also agreed. I just got to set up a date and time, on the schedule. And she's going to bring in a friend of hers, which is Dale Woodby, and he was actually attacked by a ghost at Jefferson Hotel. And in case y'all don't know what I'm talking about, in Jefferson, Texas, there's a haunted hotel over there, and it's pretty well known. And she has affiliation there, whatever. And that's the one that I'm talking about. Her friend Dale Woodby, he was actually attacked by a ghost over there. There's been several ghost hunts over there, or paranormal investigations, or whatever you want to call them. And there's, they've had activity. The owner will tell you right off the bat, from what I understand, that there is activity. There's stuff that goes on there. I haven't done a thorough research on the property or what's going on over there. Not really, but I had planned on going out there. I still do. So who's to say? I mean, I would love to get out there, before June. And, maybe not stay a night, but I'd like to go out there for about, a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours, and hang out and kind of, get a lay of the land, as you want to say, and then, let the slap check it out, So that's her. And I was going to also mention that Tony Taylor and I I haven't hooked up with the Spooky Galveston to let her know this half of it. I have hooked up with Spooky Galveston because I would like her to come in and, maybe if she can assist me once in a while. And co-hosting once in a while, but I really want her to come in and start giving us a monthly, if not bi-monthly, every 2 months, update on what Galveston, Texas has going, because she does a lot of tours out there, historical tours, ghost tours, paranormal tours, vampire tours. She's got a list. I mean, it's awesome. But we're going to do that. And this is going to be some future guests, okay? And these are already lined up, and they've already said that they'll do it. They've agreed. I just need to get back with them. I'm just not at liberty to tell you who they are right now. But I can say, and I will say, a little bit about the affiliation, okay? I'll tell you kind of like what they do and how they're affiliated and whatnot, okay? So I'm going to tell you that in a minute. Now, the other deal is, since I guess this is where you're going to come in. We reached out during season 1, and we were trying to get a co-host to come in and try to help out, and on days that we can't show up, or just help out and maybe pop in a video once in a while and do a podcast with one of the team members. So, but now we're just down to Tony and I, and now it's really down to just myself, and Tony will be coming in as more of an advisor, if anything else, or like the troubleshooter when I need him, because he's everybody has a life. So anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and try out again for a co-host. Okay, the co-host we're looking for season 2. I just asked it as somebody who's friendly, ain't afraid to talk. There are going to be some people that you've seen on TV, or maybe you haven't, but I know that a lot of people that are into the paranormal are going to know these people. And I guarantee you're going to, if you don't know all of them, I promise you'll know 1 or 2 of them. And that's a promise. Or you've seen them and you probably just went, oh, I know who he is. I didn't know that was him. But that's what's going to end up happening. I already know that's going to happen. I know how it's going to work. So, but anyway, co-host, if anybody's interested in coming in as a co-host, I really would like somebody to step in and, I'll show you the ropes if you don't know the ropes, and we'll try to help you out and do whatever, best way we can. So, on that note, where are we at? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let you know more or less who I I have been in contact with. No names. But I'm going to let you know that one of them is a psychic medium, and that person has been seen on shows, and one of them was with the Ghost Brothers. And I'm sure you'll know, I'm not going to say identify him or her kind of a deal. I'll just say I'm sure you'll know who it is when I give you the name and whatnot, when you find out later. But again, I'm not giving names because we're waiting to figure out the dates. They've already agreed. I just got to get back with them. We're going to figure out a date. So the other deal would be just checking. And then the other one is also been on Travel Channel, has been on other shows, not just one. This one has been on several shows, and like an assistant, not an assistant. He was like, let's say they were like a co-star in the show. They were one of the team. There you go. Was a team member in the actual show itself and the actual shows, and also you've seen them with the Ghost Brothers. Also, they've been with the Ghost Brothers. At one time or another. So, and also with, if I remember right, Dave Schrader. So these are people that, I'm not messing around on season 2. So, and then there was another one that has also been on shows. They've been on several shows. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that, because it's like, I don't want to give out nothing, but I know you're going to know who they are when you see the list later, and I'm working on doing that. Again, I would like to get a co-host to come in and try to help me interview these people, so that would be a good thing. So I know that also I had reached out to people and asked them if they wanted to be a co-host, and I couldn't, for some reason. It didn't work out. Timing wasn't good, and I'm not saying they didn't work out, so let me get that straight. I'm saying that the timing didn't work out. Okay, for us to sit down and do a video interview. Because in order to be a podcast host, we have to do a video interview because we have to know what you know, you're good at, what your best, tell us what what are your best attributes, because you can't put somebody on here you don't know who they are. And then the other thing is, I'm not a good discusser when it comes to talking and having a conversation you call it messaging all you want, whatever it is, because that's what it is on here. But I'm going to tell you the way I see it: texting. It's like texting. And I don't like texting at all, because sometimes the way you present your words isn't the way that you wanted the presentation of what you had to say, and it's just the way it is. I'm sorry, and that's why I don't like doing that. I don't like sending message back and forth and all that. I like to, face to face, or even a phone call. It doesn't really matter. But I try to stay away from texting, try to stay away from messaging as much as I can. And that's why I do this, because I know those who have been messaging me, it's kind of hard for me to type back, because I don't want you. I could say the wrong thing one way and didn't mean it that way, but you might take it the wrong way, and I'll be like, oh man, I didn't mean it like that. But because it has happened. Believe me, I'm a dummy on texting, man. I can make the Pope pissed off at me. So it's like my kids. I tell them, if they text me, okay, one thing. If they text again, says I ain't texting back. Only for that. If it's going to go further than that, you need to call me. So, I'm sorry, we need to talk face to face. So, working on a co-host. So anybody wants to be a co-host, you got your chance right here. All you got to do is let me know. Just put a message up there. Ping. And we ain't I'm not trying to make it sound like I don't want no one messaging me. I don't mean that at all. That's not what I mean. Please don't. I see, again, even in person, face to face, I can mess up. But no, I don't mean it like that. I just mean, if you need to message me, that's fine. I love to read the messages. Just don't expect me to go back and forth on messaging, because I'm not that good at that. All right, so anyway, so that's going to do it there. Now you know more or less who's coming in. I had more information to give on some of these, but I think I better wait. Just put it this way. I have probably about 3 or 4. Oh, and then I had another one. Tony Shapiro. I got you. I'm sorry. Tony Shapiro was going to be a guest on season 1. So she's going to roll over and be a guest on season 2. So that's right. So it's Nathan Elwell, Tony Shapiro. We have Jeannie Van Hoos and her guest, which supposedly, or I shouldn't say supposedly, but was attacked by a ghost, at the Jefferson Hotel, Dale Woodby. But then also, we're trying to reach out to Melanie Aguirre. Melanie Aguirre was one also who agreed to kind of come out as a guest on season 1. So we'll see if we can get her. If there was anybody else, let me just put this out there real quick too, because this is going to go on YouTube later anyway. If there was anybody else who contacted us and you had wanted to be a guest, and I didn't get back with you, or Taylor didn't get back with you, or one of us didn't, it's because everything was going like this and that. We could never line up, and that's what happened to the team. We just couldn't line up. Things were going on. Right when I was ready to hook up, they fell off, had something else to do with that. It just went like that. And so if you have anybody, I know, right, Gloria Effect says the same thing. I hate texting as well, but I use the microphone and just say the words on my texting app. Of course, you have to proofread before you press send. I press send. I'm just going to screw it up anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go out there and put my finger in them bees. That's what I'm going to get back on them bees. So, yeah, and if you had contacted us, and feel free to contact again. Don't think that we ignored you. We really didn't mean to ignore you. If we did, and if it seems like that way, but let's go, give us a second chance. Okay, this is season 2, and it's going to start. This is going to be a good season. I guarantee it. I can already feel the excitement. You got 3 guys coming from maybe 4 already, coming from the Travel Channel, and that come out in paranormal shows. That's already telling me, boom, I'm just debating which one of the 4 is going to be the first one, to present, because they won't. I'll have some other guests before that. I'm just saying which one and what month down the line they're going to be able to show up. So I think that's going to be a great one too. And I know that when y'all find out who these people are, y'all are going to wonder like, man, how did Slap get a hold of them? But see, that's how Slap does it. I mean, I'm going to tell you like it is, and that's why I'm called Slap, because out of the blue, you'll blink, yeah, and it's done. So careful. I mean, that's a lot of people know me for that. They know me for that very well. I said one time I'm going to get a food truck. All my friends and people around me were like, "Yeah, man, that'd be nice and everything." Next thing you know, I drove up in a food truck, and they're like, "Hi, man, what did you do, man?" You know. So I'm like, that's how it is. Slap will present something, say something, and all of a sudden, bam, there it is. It shows up in your driveway or shows up in your face. So careful. I was, I'm not going to say too much about my military, but trust me, I'm the guy that can get the job done. I'm real good at it. Real good, real good. So I guess I'll go ahead and end this now. Where we at 22 minutes? Okay. I think we're pretty much. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate everybody that asked or has been inquiring about Slap. I mean, about ESP. Sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted for some reason. So, if you have any information you want to pass on to me, feel free to pass it on. Be sure and I know those of you who are catching this tonight on YouTube, not too late. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments down there exactly whatever information you want to pass over to me. If you have a comment, if you have a suggestion, or you didn't like my red hat, you don't like my shirt, you don't like my house, you don't like my face, whatever, it's okay. Just put it down in the comments, man. Keep it to the comments. I won't be answering you back anyway, so it don't matter. And tell your friends to like and support when you can. ESP is going to start a shirt drive, and on this one, we're going to need to sell the shirts, because we're going to need funds to keep this thing going. Tony and I plan on getting with Spooky Galveston, which I kind of got off track a minute ago, and him and I are planning on going out there and doing a ghost hunt. We think we're going to first do a cemetery night tour. I want to do a day tour. I'm not sure about walking around in the cemetery at night. I'm not afraid. It's just that Galveston's a good hour drive. I don't want to come driving back home at 2 in the morning. It would probably require us to get a room out there or something like that. I don't know. I'm not that young buck I used to be in the military. In the military back then, you could have just dropped me off in a Chinook, man. I would have ziplined down and went in there and did the job and ziplined back up and gone, man. Because I've been there, done that a lot of times. So, but we'll see what happens on that. So that's one of the game plans. And then I'll get with Spooky Galveston and we'll try to work something out on that. And hopefully you'll see Spooky Galveston come in here as a co-host once in a while. I'm hoping she will. And then you never know, somebody else on the past co-host might just pop in and help with the show or two. You never know. I mean, who's to say? Season 2, anything can happen. So, because I'm up for anything. And remember, we got a few months before we get to October, and October is always going to be, that's always the real month. Yeah, you know, and I had daughters who used to mess with this stuff. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching Slap Recon. Slap's Chats number 4, and let's hope that ESP kicks it off with a great beginning and everything goes good. And thanks for joining me on President's Day. And I guess that's going to be it for me. That's going to be a wrap on my end. So Slap is a wrap. See ya.